Was the original where the building started.
Okay.
And all this was land.
Yes. So this is the expansion I was reading about.
Yes.
On the website. Okay.
Yeah. And when we bought this property, there's a whole story behind that too. We had that $15,000. When I started getting donations for used building materials, we didn't have a building.
That's
so,
the situation,
yeah,
we're in right now.
So you know this world.
Yeah.
So we were storing them in driveways of volunteers. So you're doing that too. Okay, good. That's a good start. It makes you appreciate what you have later.
Right.
Excuse us.
Excuse me.
So what we did anyways, we were over there, borrowed the $15,000, and then went and found a building that was temporary to rent month to month.
Yeah.
And the people that we rented it from said, listen, we're going to develop this property. But we'll rent it to you month to month, and then we'll give you 30-day notice when we decide we're going to move forward with our development.
Here?
No,
oh,
no.
So somewhere else.
It was somewhere else.
Okay.
Not very far away, but just on the other side of the river.
Okay.
And they said, and we asked, well, how long do you think it's going to be? And they said, probably about 6 months, because they got all these permits, and all these things they had to do. So we thought, okay, we have 6 months. But when we moved in, everything took off so fast that 6 months went by really fast. And then all of a sudden we were like, wow, it's been 6 months. They haven't talked to us. They're going to give us a 30-day notice. We better find a permanent home. And I lived just 16 blocks from here, grew up around here. And so I was coming down, saw the building was for lease or sale, and I contacted the number, and they said, well, it's not for lease, it's just for sale. It's a generic sign. And they wanted $1.2 million for the entire property.
Yep.
So I was still paying off the credit card.
Yeah.
But I went over, looked at it, loved it, and said, we want to buy it, but we don't have any money.
Yeah, this is exactly the situation
good.
we're in.
Good. Well, this will give you some encouragement.
Okay.
So they said, well, it's $1.2 million, and the broker did, and I went through it, and I got him a little promissory note that wasn't worth anything. It just said $5,000 to open up escrow. And he said, and I don't know, I'll talk to the owner. The owner said, sure, let him open up escrow, but he said, I'm not putting a sale pending on it. I'm not taking it off the market. So someone else could buy it. I was like, oh no. So the short of a long story is, it took us about 8 months. I got a $700,000 loan through our Portland Development Commission, because this was an empowerment zone that needed jobs.
Yeah.
And second, I got a grant for $200,000 from Meyer Memorial Trust to help buy the building. But you kind of know how that works. They didn't give me the money. They committed the money, and if I raised the $1.2 million, then they would release it to buy the building.
That's really cool.
So about it's been about 8 months since we went through the building. We still hadn't heard from the owners of the other building. It was just a month to month. I called the broker and said, hey, we've got $900,000. Please don't sell the building. We're gonna get $1.2 million. He called the owner. The owner told the owner. The owner called me directly. I'd never talked to him, and said, hey, I want to see you in my office tomorrow. So I went to his office, and he said, I have some news for you. When you first said you wanted to buy my building and had no money, I thought you were like a kid in a car lot who wasn't old enough to drive, or old enough, or even had enough money to buy a car. He said, but then I heard you had $900,000, and I had given the broker our plan, our vision for what we were going to do. And he said, I didn't read this thing until I got a call saying you had $900,000, and he said, I'm really excited about what you're going to do. And I have good news for you. I'm going to sell you my building for $900,000. I'm going to donate all the land. So that's how we got here. It still makes my news now. I always excites me. It was such a great day. So we were very excited. We moved in here with no money. And when we moved from the other location over here, two things happened. One, when we closed on this deal, which was in December of '99, right after New Year's, so about 7 days later, we got a 30-day notice from the other building. They had no idea, by the way, what was going on. They were just a group of developers. And then, so we had 30 days to move over here, and we moved over without shutting down for 1 hour. Just at one point, we were open there and here. And every time somebody would come to the other site and go, where's your doors? We'd say, oh, they're on the other side of the bridge. And by the way, do you mind if we put some stuff in your rig and your vehicle? Yeah, so we were just doing that for 30 days. It was like, people would come over here and go, I'm looking for doors, but I got all these windows in my truck. So it was very community-driven move. Yes.
Totally.
Yes. So that's how we got right here. And then this is the expansion that we did about roughly 6 years after we bought the building. And this here, all the materials you see in between the steel is 100% from our inventory. All the siding, windows, even these windows, we literally just took our inventory and then used that in between, and you'll see inside how it's framed in reclaimed lumber and plywood. That's kind of how it works. So we'll keep moving. If you have any questions at any point, you can just say.
I will.
So this is a bioswale planter box. All the runoff from our new buildings is handled on site, and these are all native plants, including, I don't know about the weeds, but they're all, everything else is native. This is our community gathering space, and this space here was kind of our gift back to the community. This is all cob. Are you familiar with cob? No. Okay, cob is a natural building material that's been around for, I hear, thousands of years, but it's dirt, sand, hay, and water. It's non-toxic, and literally we had elders and children in diapers, volunteers here making mud balls and tossing them up, and all the texture on the trees is from spoons, from pressing it. And this here is accessible to the public 24 hours, 7 days a week, and that right there gives you an idea of what it looks like. It looks like dirt.
Okay.
And this is this up here was done by a former employee, Mike Surrey, who went on to start his own company, Surrey Iron. But these are all cast off pieces of steel. You kind of see how the trees are patched together.
Yes, yes.
Right down the street, a block and a half, there's a metal fabrication shop, and these are the punchings from when they punch the holes, and this is the cast-offs.
I love that.
And then all the spoons and the designs in here, these are from neighbors and people around the community who came and donated the items with a story about the item. And then there's a whole legend board on the other side of here that shows the item and tells the story about how it fit into their life. And then when we unveiled this, we had a huge party, and they came and people did testimonials about their items. And then it kind of spilled out in the street, and there was dancing and music. It was a lot of fun. But that was kind of, anyway, this was something we wanted to get back to the community, and these have become the community trees. And they represent all 4 seasons.
What's this neighborhood called?
This particular name is the Boyce neighborhood, or people call it Boyce or Boyce. So, let's see, we'll keep moving.